Hi, this is not a normal video for me. It's just a quick announcement that my book, The Logic of War, is finally out in English. Here it is. It has been available in Danish for a while, but now it's finally here in English as well. And many people have been asking when and how they could get it. And I thought the easiest way to address this was to just make a quick video about it. So to just briefly explain what the book is about, it's an introduction to modern warfare, and it's explained in a language that everyone can understand. So you don't need to know anything about warfare or the military beforehand. In fact, it's a book that I made because following Russia's invasion of Ukraine, it was clear that there was a big need in society for some easily accessible knowledge about these things. Both ordinary people and politicians need to have a better understanding of military matters, especially after many years when this has not really been a priority in the West. So I wanted to fill that gap. However, I don't think it's only for people who don't have prior knowledge of the military. It would also be quite useful for people who serve in the armed forces but want a broader understanding of what's happening in the other branches maybe, or just to understand the bigger context that they're part of. So, but I do think it's important to understand that it's a popular book, so it's for ordinary people, and it's not an academic book. It does not contain a ton of footnotes and things like that. But the book takes the reader through the basics that one needs to know about the military operations, and how it works. So it starts out with sort of basic concepts of war, and then it moves through different questions of how the military is structured, the role of international humanitarian law, the different branches, air warfare, land warfare, counterinsurgency warfare, maritime warfare, these kinds of things. And then it finishes up with questions about hybrid warfare and weapons of mass destruction. So it's an overall introduction to many different topics. And the way it does that is by taking examples from military history and then use those to illustrate the different points. So this is not really a book about what's happening in the world today. I wrote another book called The Politics of War. It's the green one there on the shelf. It just came out in Danish, and I hope that it will be available in English maybe during the first half of 2026. And in that book, I delve into the reasons for the current geopolitical conflicts and where it all might lead and why everything just seems to be getting worse and worse no matter where in the world we look. But this book focuses more on how warfare works from a more technical point of view and how military forces operate and what's important to consider when trying to build military force and deterrence and those things. And so if you're interested in getting a copy of this book, then there are a couple of different ways that you can do it. Currently, it's not available in international resellers. The publisher is working on getting it on Amazon and those kinds of platforms. But for now, it's only available in Danish bookstores, but they do ship worldwide. And I will include a link in the description of the video if you want it. The book officially comes out on December 17th, 2025, but you can order it now if you want to. And I think the challenge for many people is probably going to be shipping costs, because they might be quite steep depending on where you live. But if you want to avoid shipping costs, you can, of course, buy the ebook, which also comes out on December 17th. You cannot, I don't think you can pre-order that, but it will be out. And that will, of course, save you some money because shipping is free. If you want a signed copy from me, I will also be happy to send you one. But be aware that it is going to be a little cheaper to buy it from the bookstore because they can get some discounts and stuff like that. But if you want a signed copy, just send me an email. I've set up a special email just for this, so you can send it to books@logicofwar.com. I will also include that in the video description. So that's all for now, all I wanted to say. I hope that you will like this book so that the publisher will see the need to prioritize the translation of the next one as well. But I will see you again soon in a more regular video.